Welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first replay is from the user John SE. That's John SE or SA, and he is driving the Tiger 2 on an encounter battle on Himmelsdorf. Tiger 2 being a tier 8 heavy tank for the Germans. Assault Himmelsdorf being one of those maps that can go one of two ways. Either one team entirely rushes the hill and ignores the cap, and the other team goes for a ninja cap, or generally just end up with a massive protracted fight up on the hill, and then the guys who go down don't really achieve much. So, as you can see, a good split of forces here. A large portion going up the hill, not quite as many going down the bottom. You can see a couple of big tank destroyers heading down that way just to cover off anybody who may go for a very quick gap. Looks like the Allies have got more tanks on the hill at the moment. John SC gonna head up here and see if he can get a shot on somebody. Looks like that ISU may have had a shot on him there if it wasn't for the KB-1S getting in the way, but not to worry, he's probably going to die very, very soon. It's a nice hit onto that IS-3 here. John SC being in a nice position here that he's far enough back that other people are presenting much juicier targets to the enemy team than he is at the moment. Enemy Tiger 2 comes too far up the hill there, exposes his lower plate, and John S is able to get some damage through, and he's able to back off enough. Probably got into a position where his lower plate either isn't visible or isn't easy to shoot at. So he's going to rock backwards and forwards around about this point. Doesn't want to get hit in the face by that Hummel, as that will cause significant damage. KB3 not quite got the gun depression, so he's got to get all the way over the top of the hill. Rushes his shot at John there, but just misses that out. Same with the KV5. He doesn't have the gun depression either. He comes up the hill, also with his lower plate fully exposed. KV5 looks like he's looking to shoot at John here. Doesn't have the penetration. Maybe can't hit the lower plate, and even if he can, it might be at a funny angle. Not quite able to get his second shot through the KV5 there. That thing is pretty damn tough. Even with that huge weak spot on the front, you can see the artillery shells raining in an effort to try and take him out. Still got the Tiger 2 on the right hand side, the one that he damaged earlier. KB3 pokes himself out, but again probably can't find the lower plate of John Esse here. It just bounces on that very nicely armoured front plate. The great thing about having your lower plate hidden by a hill like that is you've then got your front plate angled at such a steep angle that anybody who does fire at it is almost certainly going to bounce no matter what kind of ammo they're shooting. Does get his track taken out now by the Hummel, so I think the enemy artillery has realised who the real threat is here and is starting to rain shots down on John Esse's head. Unfortunately for them, it looks like the enemy team has concentrated way more forces on the hill than the Allies have. So John's going to have to switch his attention to this left-hand side, as they are getting pushed quite heavily now. Most of the guys who went to defend that side of the castle are now dead. Just got this Tiger P and the T-29 in reserve to help there. KV-1S has somehow snuck all the way around the back of the Allies here and coming up the hill from the bottom there. John obviously spotted that one out and started to move forward. Gets a lovely shot on that IS-3 to take him out. Now he's going to switch his attention up to the Tiger 2 and that SU-100. Gets a great shot through the SU-100, but he is taking considerable damage in return. He's got around about the same health as the enemy Tiger 2 now, so can't afford to just trade with him one-on-one if he's going to want to affect the outcome of this game anymore. Trying to get a shot on the lower plate of this Tiger 2. Could just about see it there, but unfortunately planted that one in the dirt. Looks like the enemy Tiger 2 is focusing on the cupola now, and that one just didn't go through. I think he's jerking his turret from side to side because he thinks John's aiming at his cupola. Unfortunately, he is not. He is aiming well at the lower plate, and it looks like the other Tiger 2 was trying to focus on John's cupola there to his detriment, as he gets himself taken out thanks to John rocking forwards and backwards. Now he's in a position to flank all the way around behind the enemy tanks here. Got to be careful though, because this SU-100 will almost certainly... No, he won't be. So I thought the SU-100 would be set up to pop a shot at John as he came around the corner. Unfortunately for the enemy team, he was just doing the Italian march and running the hell away. Gets a great shot through the rear of this KV-5, then decides to drop back. KV-5 is the one closest to being taken out there, so decided to focus his fire on him. Gets into a great side-scraping position, although he's out in the open, just luring the enemy into shooting at his side there. Got damage back on that Tiger 2 as well without taking any in return. So that was an excellent piece of play there. And he takes out the KV-5 nice and quick. And again, setting himself up in a side-scraping position, lures the enemy Tiger 2 into firing at his side. And that one just bounces off harmlessly. Now he's going to push around the corner, gets a great shot on the Tiger 2, sets him on fire. Tiger 2 uses his fire extinguisher there, but it's not going to save him for very long. He only takes out John's track here, so he's done a fantastic job of angling himself against this Tiger 2 now. The enemy Tiger 2 not able to get any damage whatsoever. Fires his shot and bounces again. John takes his time, makes sure he plants the shot where he needs it, takes him out, picks up kill number 6, Top Gun medal. 5,500 points of damage, but the battle isn't over yet. Still got a full health KV-1S steaming around the corner, and the KV-1S has no trouble whatsoever getting a huge amount of damage through the front of John there, but he does have a very, very long reload, so he's just got to wait. Hummel comes up behind. Now he's caught between a rock and a hard place. KV-1S is going to be reloaded, but John is reloaded just in time. Hummel taking his time to aim his shot. And I think John is definitely been able to move out the way of that one as the Hummel shot flies harmlessly overhead. Now he's going to have to try and close him down, winning this game at 13 kills to 12. But they've got a Cromwell and a T-28 prototype down the hill. And John's just going to close down the distance on this Hummel here. Got all the time in the world, because that Hummel probably won't be reloaded by now. Comes steaming over the hill, can't find him anywhere. Looks like this Hummel has indeed turned tail and ran. Going to be heading towards where the cap circle would normally be, and probably going to set himself up there to try and TD John as he comes around the corner. Nope, he's just running the hell away. Takes his shot, takes him out. Kill number 8, Radley Walters medal. This game is still fairly even, though 14 kills to 13. They've got a T-28 prototype slapping each other with their handbags over in the corner there. Looks like the Allied T-28 prototype may have the best of this fight, but John going to come over there and offer some support just in case. Both of them are one-shots. As you can see, the Allied T-28 only got 226 hit points, so if the enemy T-28 can just land a good shot on him, he's going to wait for him to pop out and maybe land a shot and take him out. John's still going to be steaming over there in an effort to try and land a shot and offer some help. Got to be careful though, because if the Allied T-28 prototype gets taken out, he's only got 290 hit points himself, and he is also going to be a one-shot for this T-28, and the T-28 takes out the Allied T-28. John probably hasn't been spotted out now. T-28's moving forwards. If he can just hold his nerve, he can get this one. He does indeed. Kill number 9, 6,500 points of damage, and somehow guiding his team to victory on that massive battle on the hill there. So absolutely awesome replay there from John S.A. picking himself up 9 kills, 6,500 damage, and really being absolutely instrumental in his team's victory. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always, the score screens, which you're going to want to see in another game, coming right up. And our second replay is from the user Jailat. That's Jailat, no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he's driving the Leopard PTA on a standard battle on El Haluf. Leopard PTA being a tier 9 medium tank for the Germans. So straight away going to be heading down the hill to the little village on the rise there in front of him. You can see there's an AMX-50B and a Chaffee going with him. Chaffee really should be in this position because he is a light scout tank. Not really sure what the AMX-50B is doing. I think he probably thinks he is more of a medium tank. And then again, with its speed and its really crappy armor, then it does really perform more like a medium tank than it does a heavy. So they've got some good eyes on the enemy positions immediately here. You can see a couple of one scout tank in the north, one scout tank in the south, and himself in the center here. Just trying to spot out who they can see. He's a T-54 on that right-hand side. Not able to get shots on him, so just put him... No, looks like he is climbing a little bit. So Jailat gonna line up his gun, try and take him out. You can see he just waits until he crests that hill a little bit, until he is way too committed. Gets one good hit on him. He starts to take fire in return. Should be able to take him out now. Nope. Looks like the Chaffee gets the kill on that one, but a dead T-54 is still a good thing. Not really sure what the T-54 was doing. Probably just trying to prolong his life as much as possible, as he did come charging down the hill there and came smack head on with an AMX-50B and a Caernarvon, and that's definitely not what you want to see when you come around the corner in a T-54. So Jai just going to be staying on the hill here, going to be trying to spot out who he can. Unfortunately, the guys on that hill over there are out of render range, so there's going to be nothing he can really do to affect that northern flank. Gotta have to play it careful though, because as you can see, the only tanks they've got going up there is that Jagdpanzer E100, and that is really the domain of the heavy tanks here. But that Jagdpanzer E100 being a tank destroyer. But really, he is just trying to plug a gap, because to be honest, the heavy tanks have gone to the south, which is not usually where you find them. So you can see the Jagdpanzer E100 just trying to fill that role. He's going to be camping at the bottom of the ridge there, waiting for someone to pop over the top, and then he's going to explode them as best he can. Does have some tank destroyers camping in the background there. And the T-57 Heavy there with him. And this replay is a little bit slow to get started, but once it does get going, trust me, it is a good replay. Let's see if he can get a shot on this AMX 1390. It's being foiled by the hill a little bit there. And the 1390 just hidden by the bushes, using that rock beside him to great advantage. Looks like nobody really pushing in the north. He has trying to get a shot on this T-32 that he spotted out earlier. The T-32 is well hidden by the terrain there. You can see more tank destroyers have arrived at that D1 spot. And that is something that you see very often, a lot of tanks camping back on that ridge there. And the problem I always have with that is those tank destroyers there are always assuming that the guys who go A2 are going to lose the fight. Because if the guys at A2 win that battle and push over the top of the hill, then the guys at D1 don't have anybody to fire at. And that's just kind of, in my opinion, setting your team up to fail, because you're not there to provide any cover until they've already lost the battle. Great hit onto that T-21 there. Gets a nice high roll and manages to hit them while they're both on the move there. Dodging out some other shells. Does take a hit from someone, but that seems like a low caliber weapon. T-57 Heavy is aiming in this direction. And Jai just going to try and get a shot, and manages to bounce a shot. Got to be careful though, because this time between shots of this T-57 is very, very quick. Unfortunately, you can only see a tiny bit of the top of Jai's turret there and not able to get anything on him. Finds another T-57 here that just seem to be coming out the walls in this match. He's got a great shot through his side armor. Unfortunately, I think he's probably going to get away without Jai being able to do any more damage to him. Luckily, the Rheinmetall takes him out. The tank destroyers in the north are finally moving, because they've realised they're not going to get a hit on anybody in the position that they are in. Jai pops back up to get a shot back at this T-57 Heavy. Unfortunately, he's not quite accurate enough. He pops into view now, so he's got to play it carefully, because that T-57 is going to be pre-aimed on this spot. Just waits for his camo to kick back in. Camo kicks back in, pops over. Is he going to take his shot? He does indeed. I'm not really sure what this T-57 Heavy is doing. I suppose he can only really see a very, very tiny bit of the top of Jai's turret, where he himself is way out in the open without any cover whatsoever. Trying to get a shot on this T-34, but he is just covered off by the rocks there. Now Jai's going to use this opportunity to head up. GW Tiger P just obliterates the T-57 Heavy there with an almost 1300 damage shot. Still looking over to the north there to see if he can land anything on that T-34. Not quite, so he's going to push up the hill now. Allied team are steamrolling this one at the moment at 8 kills to 3. Finally lands a shot on that T-32 that he was trying to get earlier on. T-32 is in a nice little covered spot there. Unfortunately, his rear armor is fully exposed to Jai here. So now that he's backed off, though, he is covered a little bit. So I think Jai's going to have to make the decision whether he pushes up the hill and goes and attacks those tank destroyers, or maybe heads down the hill and tries to take out this T-32. Sees an AMX-50B comes steaming in from the left-hand side there. So I think he has made up his mind that he's possibly going to go and offer some support to him. Looks like he is totally ignoring the T-32 though. No, he's just making his way all the way around there. Jai gets another lovely hit through his rear armor there, and the AMX-50B takes him out and continues to climb the hill. And Jai going to be switching his attention up to the north now, as those tank destroyers still for some reason, aren't committed to climbing the hill, even though there's only an E75 and a T34 there. None of them really fully committed to want to climb that hill there, so Jai's going to do it for them. Jagdpanzer E100 still holding them from the front, so he's going to come around from the rear and see what he can do. Unfortunately, with the position of that WZ-132, it's quite possible that the E75 has spun around to ward off that threat, which means he's going to have front armor onto Jai, and this is going to be a little bit of a difficult battle if that is the case. As you can see there, because of the shot the 132 landed, he has now decided to start spinning around. Luckily, though, he did use his shot on the WZ-132 there, being let down by his gun depression. It's a great hit through the underbelly of the E75 there. Didn't expect that one to land. He uses his shot to get some damage back on this AMX-50B. The AMX-50B should have the damage to take him out. He's got one more shot in the chamber. Hopefully he doesn't fluff it. Gets a great hit on that T-34. Looks like the AMX-50B actually doesn't have another shot in the chamber. But hopefully somebody's going to be able to come around and do something about it, because Jai's got bigger fish to fry at the moment. Takes a hit in the back there from the shoe, the AMX-4502. Sorry, the VK-4502. Did get ammo rack there. It looks like the AMX, the VK is camped way in the back there. Jai's finally able to pick up his first kill now for 5,000 points of damage. Finally gets one kill. Very, very well deserved. But this replay is more about the tactics and the excellent play by Jailat rather than the huge kill score. So now going to use this opportunity to try and close down on the VK-4502. He was last spotted at top of this ridge line, so that's where he's going to climb to. Got to be careful, as this Jagdpanzer E100 is on his right hand side, but I think he's going to be concentrating on battling with that Rheinmetall. There is also an E100 there. Sees the top of the VK-4502. The VK has fired, so it's an opportunity for Jailat to head up the hill. Unfortunately, that VK, well, he did have full hit points. Now he's down to about 1,500, so a one-on-one duel would be pretty risky considering the strength of the armor of that tank. So Jailat going to head around the corner and get some shots on the rear of that Jagdpanzer E100 to take him out, and that just leaves an IS-4, the artillery, and the VK-4502. The IS-4 was charging down on this position. He's got to play this one carefully, because the front armor of this IS-4 is pretty formidable. Shu comes around the corner, and all he manages to do is take two huge hits in the face here. And he is going to be a little bit worse for wear. Jailat still got shots onto his lower plate if he takes it in time, and he does indeed get another lovely bit of damage onto that VK. Can he possibly pick up the kill? Looks like the Foch is trying to play a runaround with him, and he gets behind a sandstone hut there. So we're going to pop around and maybe get some shots on this IS-4 there. Get some damage through his side armor. IS-4, not really sure who to fire at. Jailat's going to go charging past him. Does take the damage, but is he able to get the VK? He is indeed. Picks up kill number 3. And this IS-4 goes charging down on the SU-152. He's able to take him out with a ram and fire combination, and that is kill number 4 for 6,500 points of damage. And you can see everybody pauses there, as there is only this GW Tiger P left. And they're going to go and hunt for him. Just having a little bit rage at people in the chat there unnecessarily. Going to be looking for this GW Tiger P. Got to be careful though, because if he is waiting just over this ridge, GW Tiger P could derp him in the face, except he's already fired, and this is just going to be game over for the GW Tiger P. At least he's not drowning or committing suicide. He's not a scumbag. He is an honourable warrior. He takes his death like a man. That's kill number 5 and 7,000 points of damage for Jailat in his Leopard Prototype A. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. You can either attach the replay file itself or send me the link to the What Replay website in the email, and I can check that one out. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you thought it was entertaining, you learned something, or you just had a good time watching it, then hit that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. So this has been World of Tanks. I've been Maxwell, and I will catch you guys next time.